when we watch college football every Saturday, and I've been watching college football for like 4 decades, right? It's probably the first sport baseball or college football was the first sport I kind of fell in love with. I just absolutely loved college football as a kid. And I'd watch Keith Jackson, and he'd be doing games, and Ara Parsegan, Notre Dame, Keith Jackson doing a Southern football game, and then Brent Musburger. And it was a lot of times you got like 1 or 2 games on Saturday, and it was Notre Dame and Ohio State or a big Southern football game. And all we ever see in those packed stadiums, hundreds of thousands of students, it's amazing, right? Like sometimes you get for spring games 50, 60,000 people. And we see tens of thousands of college students supporting football players, cheering, screaming, rooting. Sometimes at the end of games, they'll cry because their team lost and Michigan screwed up the punt or Ole Miss screwed up the lateral play. And you see fans, young fans, crying, okay? They give their heart out to it, right? They get nothing in return. The football players on every college campus in America eat better and have access to better tutors, and they get free swag. And some of their travel, like to the Rose Bowl, hello, pretty cool stuff, right? I'd argue they're almost stars on campus. Free drinks, cutest girls. That's all we ever see. That's all we ever see. Broke college students supporting them. Sometimes those broke college students who don't have the money to do this, they get together, buy a 6-pack of Heineken, and that's going to be their weekend, and they drive from Indiana to Iowa to watch those college football players who have much better lives than they do, right? And yet, at Missouri, the football players said, why don't we give our biceps an hour off? How about we do squats tomorrow? And why don't we support the students for a change? And that made a lot of people angry. Who are they to protest? We see these superstar athletes all over America. MJ, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady. They want nothing to do with social injustice, nothing to do with movements. Politics, no way. Agent gets on the phone, don't say a word, stay off Twitter. It hurts their brand. They don't get to compile net worth. So do you want a world like that? Where the richest and the most powerful remain in their mansions and private jets and don't talk about social injustice and leave that to the people without power, leverage, or a voice. They can't enact change. At Missouri, the big guys help the little guy, the powerful help the powerless, and the popular help people without a real voice. And I'm supposed to believe this morning that was a terrible thing. Spend 90 minutes one of these nights, maybe a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Tonight would be a good night. Watch a documentary called Hot Coffee. It's fascinating. Gives you a sense of what the powerful can do to 90-year-old women. Remember 9/11? God, it was awful, right? Do you remember the one moment that made you feel good when the president put his arm around the firefighter? Remember that? Shh, we all felt great, right? Why? Why would that be? Because the powerful connected with the powerless, a normal citizen. For the record, Missouri football players didn't create this. The school president did. Between inactivity, missteps, clumsy PR, he was in trouble before the football players. But whether it's an I Can't Breathe t-shirt or an I Won't Play protest, it's not only symbolic to a democracy, it's critical. Guys like Putin, they want all the power. People that oppose them disappear. It doesn't work that way here. That's a damn good thing. A Missouri student, Jonathan Butler, protested, refused to eat, was going to die. Colin, it's a dangerous precedent. This could happen on any campus. It has and does. But this is different because it's Missouri and it's 100 miles from Ferguson, and this history and this campus, unfortunately, has had racial tension for decades. The powerful don't need to support the poor. They must, or it's a two-tiered society. That's the places you see on the news you don't want to live in. You don't want to live in those societies. You want to live in societies where the powerful take a day off from the biceps and the private jets and their mansions and come out and fight for things and fight for us and you and our grandparents. Good for football players. Spend a few days helping others beyond themselves. Supporting a student body that for decades has cheered for them wildly and rarely asked for anything, and even this time didn't ask for anything. As the athletic director at Missouri said, they saw it as a moment. Not a liberal moment, not a conservative moment, a human moment.
The past few days have been certainly extraordinary circumstances for many reasons. But primarily because a young man's life, Jonathan Butler, his life was at stake. And that was real for our student athletes. And so our student athletes, they decided to get involved. And quite frankly, simply, we supported them.
And so did the coach, and so do I. This happens. There's hunger strikes everywhere. But this was different because Missouri's different. And Ferguson, Missouri's down the street. And it's a Civil War border state. If you don't support Missouri, who do you support? What cause do you support? In the end, all these kids on all these campuses don't ask for anything. And they support the athletics without question. Once a team supported them, I'm okay with it.